Record-ology.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day, morning, evening, night, afternoon, whatever it is for you. So today we're going to play a little game of here's a record I bet you don't have. Now, I've played this before and you guys surprised me. Stuff I think is so obscure, you know, you guys are like, oh yeah, I've got that. Or you'll tell me, yeah, that's the so-and-so version. And I'm like, wow, okay, I guess it's not as rare as I thought. But I think I might have stumped you here. I think I might have stumped you. I bet you don't have this record. Again, this was a thrift store buy. Or, yeah, what's a thrift store buy? And I was like, I have to get this. It is, I don't exactly know what I'm looking at here. I don't speak any language that is depicted on this record. So it's going to be a learning exercise for me. So I want to, and we're going to look at this here in depth. So what I've ascertained so far is that this is a German record about Russian military music, songs of the Volga or Volga. This is a Russian ensemble. This is a name. So the Russian, this person ensemble, directed by Boris Alexandrov. And yeah, that's about as far as I've gotten. So how did I do that? I've told you guys before about this amazing app, Google Translate. It's in the iOS store. It's probably, I'm sure it's an Android too because it's a Google app. Anyway, let me show you a screen recording I did of me translating some of the text on this. Now, I've mentioned this recently. What's amazing to me about it is how it replaces the text through your camera. It's sort of an augmented reality kind of thing. And replaces it with the translated text. So, blows my mind. So, here's how that works. Okay, so here it is. It's a little glitchy, but you point your camera at an object in a different language and it translates it in augmented reality. It's not perfect, so you kind of got to fiddle with it, but you can kind of get the idea oftentimes of, you know, what stuff is saying, which is fascinating. And this is not the best example of it. I was able to use it a little bit off camera and get a little bit better result to get the information that I said before. But I just think it's amazing how it converts the words on whatever you're looking at, like where it says songs of the Volga right there. It literally looks like, and everything it's translating looks like it's actually printed on the record that way. So what's the deal with this actual record? So it's limiting in terms of what I can tell you. Da Capo apparently is the label, which apparently I looked that up and it says that basically means to start from the beginning. Well, here's what I learned. Hey Google, what does Da Capo mean?
Especially as a direction. Repeat from the beginning.
Sounds like something a record would be called. And again, we've sort of translated the front of this. So these are apparently Russian soldiers and perhaps choir too. It looks like we got a choir in the back and a band in the front. This whole thing is interesting because it's a glossy, it's very different than what I'm used to. Let's look inside the thing here. Nothing in there. It's definitely dated. I mean, it's old. Let's look down here. Cover photo, capital. Electrola. Yeah, I should do that app on some more of this text. Printed in Germany. So this, I am a student of the Second World War. I have a very limited understanding, admittedly so, of European history. But this is an amazing thing. German record of Russian music. Now, I'm not going to get into post-World War II history, but it's an interesting thing. Let's look up here. So there's different catalog number things. I don't know if this is, you know, something you could find in Discogs or not. But really, really interesting. So if I had to date this just by looking at it, gosh, I would say this is like early 60s, late 50s. You got a nice wear ring in the shape of the record. So it was packed tight somewhere. And yeah, I can't read anything on the back of this. You know, if you guys can, I'd love to learn more. Usually, I've done some Russian records before, and although this is German, so it's confusing. But some of the Russian records I've done in the past have you guys have told me the history of it, which is really, really neat. I don't know why. I wonder if it's the same thrift store. Somebody just happened to have a collection of these things. I don't know. Okay, so enough of the cover. Let's get into the record itself. But before we do that, here is the cover that came with this, or the sleeve. It is a it's a German record, so I'm assuming these are all German titles. Beat in Germany. Bill Ramsey's. What does that say? Schlager Party? I don't know what that is, but it sounds fun. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. All of this new to me, which is fun. It's interesting. This is not something that I would expect to see every day. That kind of looks like a young Pavarotti. Very, very interesting. Promoting some of the other titles available on the Da Capo label. Does that say Da Capo? Die Volksplate. The People's Record? Is that what that means? Very interesting. Okay, and we are going to be running the Audio-Technica LP7 with the Grado Gold Prestige 2 on my lovely mismatched Audio-Technica head shell off of an LP120X USB. And let's take a look at the record itself. So, unlike a lot of European imports that I've seen, this one is super thick. A lot of London records and whatnot are very thin in my experience. This one is thick. I'm saying this is like probably 160 gram pressing, and it looks like it's in brand new condition. Look at that modulation. Look at that. I love the way the light catches that. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Really, really, really cool. I do feel like it's cupped a little bit. I think it's raised in the middle there. Let's look at the runout stamper there, see if there's anything we can discern from that. Not really. So yeah, a little bit of warpage. This side does have some scuffing, so it's not immaculate, but interesting. 33 RPM, made in Germany. And I showed you some of the translated information there. Wide sound stereo. Da Capo. Looks like a little printing error, perhaps right there. I love this Electrola logo up there. Very, very cool. Side A. Now, like I said, playing on the LP7. For a preamp, I'm using that IFI preamp that has the AI filter, subsonic filter that takes out the platter rumble distortion. Actually, this isn't that warped. I thought it was cupped, but it's really not. And we'll give it a listen. Run off any static. I like to run it out this way, and somebody reminded me recently that if you run it to the post there, if you run it to the spindle, it's a good way to discharge some of the static down into the chassis. And for speakers, we listen on the Persona. So this is my best setup. We'll be giving this the best opportunity that I have for recreating sound in this particular setup. So let's go ahead and flip through there. I don't think we have to worry about copyright, so I'm going to just play some music. So here we go. Interesting. Not what I was expecting. I was expecting more like marching kind of music. Let's listen to some more. It's a little closer to what I was expecting. Let's listen to a little bit more on this side and we'll flip it. It really makes me wonder how a record like this got here. You know, here in Denver, Colorado, so very far away from Germany or Russia. And, you know, it makes me think, you know, somebody must have brought this with them. Perhaps they ordered it. Perhaps it was shipped here. Or perhaps they, I don't know. It's the history behind, and again, this is the essence of Record-ology once again. The history behind this record, let alone what's on it, but the actual record itself. Fascinating. It's got pretty good sonic fidelity, actually. It's pretty scratchy. It may just need a deep cleaning, even though these things can look super clean like this one does to me. Maybe it's got some stuff deep down in there that needs to be cleaned out. So yeah, let's listen one more time here, one more time. Awesome. That's really cool. That's just so cool. I love that stuff. Okay guys, there it is. That's so unique. Again, to me, this is a treasure, because who's to say that this is or isn't right around the corner at a local thrift store or an antique store? To me, finding this is like really finding a treasure. It may be worth 50 cents, but its value to me has nothing to do with monetary value. Never has, never will. And again, that's why, for those of you that graced me with those wonderful records earlier we did the unboxing on, you know, I chose to open the one that was sealed because I want to enjoy the record. I don't want to just, I'm not a put it on a shelf and stare at it kind of person. So one last look there, music of the Volga, and I believe Volga, and amazing, very unique. Tell me the history about this. I know you guys are already typing comments, so let me know what I missed, what I got wrong. I'd like to learn more about this. Is this unique? Is this common? Let me know down in the comments below. But anyway, that's going to do it for now, guys. And thank you to each and every one of you that has been, you know, donating, buying me a cup of coffee, all that crazy stuff. It's just so I'm very flattered and I'm very grateful. So thank you. I hope you're having a wonderful night. Stay safe. Take care of each other. And we will see you tomorrow.